hello to everyone. We are doing an interview with Mr. Terminator, one of the greatest players in the world. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. You're a really big star in Balkans, and you have a lot of fans here. So it's a great honor to have an interview with you.
Thank you.
We're in Bosnia and Herzegovina in Visoko. This is the first matchroom tournament on Balkan. You won the first match 9-0, pretty easy. What are your first impressions about the place and the tournament and organization? And can you tell us a little bit more?
I think first impression was that the passion's really high here. You know, I came into the club and right away pictures with people, and you can see that the people are very excited to have a big tournament. Finally again, I think the last big international tournament we had here was the Euro Tour about 10 years ago in Sarajevo. So it's nice to be back, and big club. A lot of people last night, Friday night. I'm glad they quit the smoke today. I'll tell you that. That was, nice. It was a good move for the
you couldn't breathe.
No, that's much better for the game, right?
Yeah.
That's we've had those days. So I think Bosnia's making a good move in 3 months. I heard, to cut the smoke in restaurants and stuff. So aside from that, just looking forward to the event. You know, it's on the matchroom calendar. That's great.
That's
right. It's on the schedule. Longoni's put an effort in to sponsor the event, so that's nice. I'm sponsored by Longoni. Oh, your friend?
No.
No. Photo. Later, the interview. Yeah, thank you. Longoni's joining the event. That's great. They're a very strong name. I've been with them for over 20 years. Incredibly enthusiastic, hard-working people that are great for sport. Pool, 3-cushion, you name it. Chico Gurilli in Italy. So I think all good moves for the game.
Yeah, that was my third or fourth question about Longoni, but we can talk right now about that. So yeah, Longoni is making their way. They're making their way to pool scene right now. They were not active until like a couple of years ago, and it's a new name. Of course, old name. My first pool cue was Longoni, like 25 years ago. My father bought me a Longoni cue. And right now there are some big names that are sponsored by Longoni. So we would like to hear more about those guys, how they are, what are their plans, because you know it's pretty serious if they sponsor like tournaments like this, you know.
Yeah, I think Pierluigi Longoni, he wants to get some more exposure in the pool world. They're extremely big in 3-cushion. They have a ton of players there, like Dick Jaspers, Codron, you know, there's some big monster names, and they've put a lot of attention in 3-cushion over the years, and they also want to expand a little bit into pool. So we've also joined forces in my YouTube channel to get more exposure out there. They've had the Benelux Open in Holland and Belgium for years. That started over 10 years ago. Fortunately, the pool room in Rotterdam closed down, or that would be still going on. The last time was, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. So hopefully that's coming back. But they've made a really good move now with the Balkan Tour and sponsoring that for 4 events. So that's great.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, they're a great brand, great people, and it's only great for the sport that they're getting more and more involved.
Yeah, this is a big thing. We never had a tournament this size and with so many world-known players in the Balkans. You know, this is I'm free to say the biggest tournament ever.
Besides from the Euro Tour.
Besides from the Euro Tour. Yeah, that one Euro Tour.
Exactly.
That's right. So yeah, the things are starting to happen, and that's great. So we wanted to talk a little bit about your results in your career, but we would need like a couple of days. So just 1 or 2 questions. What you won everything that can be won, and you were on the pool scene like over 20 years. In the highest level, it's just you and a couple more guys could maintain that high level in pool for so many years, I can say decades also. So what's your secret? You look like you're my age, you know, and you play pool. How many years have you played pool for those years? So I think we should talk a little bit about that, about your great result. What was most favorite title for you, and etc.
I spoke about that with the Dutch guys that are here yesterday. They also asked me the same thing, like, what's the biggest title you won? And I said, I mean, there's a couple of really big ones, and they have different value. You know, like you're winning your first Euro Tour, is really, really massive. And I lost 2 finals before that. Like in Finland, I lost the final. A year later, I came back, I lost the final. And the third year, I won my first one. So that was a big win. And then the World 9 Ball was massive. Of course, the first world title I won, World Straight Pool, was massive. But I got a little bit of sting from the media, like the guys from Billiard Digest. They said, why haven't you won more majors? Stuff like that, where I won the Challenge of Champions, Derby City. But the major, if you're an established player, you have to win like a US Open or a world title.
Yeah.
So I was really eager to win the World 9 Ball. But I lost 2 World 8 Ball finals back to back. I lost 13-12 to Carl Boys, and the year after I lost 10-5 to Dennis, and that, I mean, that was painful, you know what I mean? So you have to ask yourself, like, how many times do you get into a World Championship final to start with, and then you have to do it again, and then you want to win after you lose 2.
Yes.
So it's gonna be, you're gonna have a voice in the back of your head, like, man, like, please win this one, you know what I mean? So I played Albin in the finals.
Unbelievable pressure.
That was that. The pressure was there, and I mean, it was like a rock of 150 kilos fell off my back when I won that title. So that was a very big one. I mean, every title, like a big one, like the Challenge of Champions, man, that was amazing. That's still on YouTube with me and Ligo and Sudden Death for 50,000, 1 rack. You know what I mean?
God.
And Derby 9 Ball was big. That was 7-6. You know, and then there's matches where you just are on fire. Those are great memories. So it's all mixed. But every big tournament has its own little memory box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know because I don't have those memories. But I can understand.
Yeah,
I can relate. Yeah.
But also, for example, after the injury, I had the tennis elbow. I was out for months, and then I came back and I won the World Pool Masters. That, I mean, I will never forget that. You know, and stuff like that. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. How does your game evolve? You know, game evolves every year. Basically, literally, there are like many young players, like around 20 years, that are like they're playing like robots. Everything is completely accurate. It's like just like the smallest details decide who will win. How do you manage to evolve your game, because pool is completely different 20 years ago and today, and you're still on the top?
I think you said it correctly. You have to keep evolving, and I think that's the secret if you want to keep staying at a high level. It's one thing to get to, like, let's say top 10 in Europe, maybe top 10 in the world, but it's a totally different animal if you want to stay there 10, 20 years.
Yes.
And the key, like you say, is you have to keep evolving. And of course, there's been like maybe years where I wasn't as motivated, but now I also realize, like, maybe I'm in my final stretch. Let's say maybe my final 5 years, 10 years, whatever, final 2 years, I don't know. You know, I just realized, like, I have to take every event and make it special. If you get, let's say, from your 20s to your 30s, in my time, you're really trying to score, you're trying to get to that level, and then 30s to 40s, you're trying to maintain that, and maybe 40s to 50s are the moments where you really want to take it all in, and, you know, it might be something happens, or, you know, it might be your last year, you never know, so you want to just keep building and keep working on things, and that's what I'm trying to do. Also the equipment, you know, we went from wooden shafts to the graphite shafts, new brake, you know, you got to keep working on the brake, stuff like that. And I think for me, looking back 25 years in my career, I think the coolest thing that the game gives you is, like, you have to become a better version of yourself every time to stay on top. You know, they say every level has another devil.
Yeah.
And it's true, you know, you get when you start out, you have no expectations, and when you start winning big tournaments, you start getting expectations and the crowd and maybe more pressure, and You have to deal with all kinds of new challenges, and I think that makes you a better man, a better father, a better husband if you take those challenges and work on yourself.
Yeah,
And
but
I thi-
everything is connected. How,
Yeah, and
how
I
are you
think-
in your life?
Yeah.
You're the same in,
Yeah.
in your game.
That's
Or-
the coolest thing of the game,
yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
looking back.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you work? Do you have another job maybe, or pool is absolutely 100% your profession, and you
Yeah,
you do just that?
Like it's been my profession for over 20 years, and then COVID came, and then I started the YouTube channel. So I started looking for other things. The mental course is online.
We're watching it every day.
Yeah.
Your YouTube channel and try to do
Yeah,
some
I
of
mean,
the
those
exercises.
are really cool projects. But for now, I wanted to really give my game full attention again. So the YouTube channel is a little bit on pause now. That will always come back later. So I'm full pro again now, and you kind of have to be if you wanna stay at the top. You cannot do a lot of things together. You know, it's too mentally too draining. You have to work hard, compete, but you also have to rest.
Yeah.
And you hear nowadays it's harder for athletes to rest well, also because there's a lot of distractions, the phones, the digital world. It's really, you have to be very disciplined to rest good.
Yeah.
You know,
And there are
because it's so
a lot of events. Yeah. Every day, every weekend, something new.
Yeah, you have to choose.
USA, Great Britain,
Yeah, it's
Serbia, Euro Tour, European Championship, World
Yeah.
Doubles, World Singles, 10 ball, Predator tournaments. There's a lot of a lot of things going on. So yeah, it's hard to keep up different time zones,
Time
different
zones.
climates.
For me,
everything,
as a family man, I have 2 children. I don't want to just see them grow up on FaceTime.
Yeah.
So I choose. You know, I try to make some blocks.
Yeah.
Then be with the family, and then another block. Because like a guy like Sanchez, for example, now you know he's 30, 31 maybe, but he's like red hot. But he's also playing everything. And if you don't have those obligations yet, you have to go. You know, you got to go all in, and then you see what happens. Like Filler, Sanchez, Catchy's back on track. Sanjin just had a good Premier League, but those guys are young. You know, no kids yet.
Yeah,
you gotta
they
go,
have-
man. You gotta travel. You gotta hit it.
That's right. Yeah, they have all the time in the world. They have to,
Yeah,
to
but
do
then-
that and do just that. and
Yeah,
it,
that's how you have to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Sanjin. I wanted to look a little bit closer to our community and our players from the Balkans. I think the first player that you met, first good player that you met from Serbia is Zoran Svilar. You played finals, European Championship finals against him, and you won. That was like his first medal from European Championships. He was second. Do you remember the final, and what do you think about him? What's your impression about him? He's
Very solid player. I think this is 10 years ago, because I remember that final very well.
Yeah.
I'll tell the story later, but first about Zoran. Very strong, solid player. Good technique, good fundamentals, and I think he scored medals before actually. If I'm not mistaken, he scored a European medal in Willingen at the Europeans there.
I suppose you're right. Maybe that was the second. He was.
Yeah.
I think he
Lost
scored some
before.
In 2 finals there.
Yeah,
I think.
Stephen
He
Coyne
has
won.
three finals.
Right,
Two
right,
finals.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
this
one
was the
other.
3rd final for him, and the story was I was watching a movie with my daughter at home. It's called Free Willy with the whale, and the kid blows on this mouth harmonica in the movie, and when we would watch the scene, sometimes we would both sit there with the mouth harmonica, and I promised her, I said, if Daddy's gonna win a title, I'm gonna do the harmonica on TV. And I played him, and the last 9 was so easy that I remembered. If it was a harder shot, maybe I had to focus, but it was so easy. I went back to the chair, got the harmonica, I went like boop boop boop. I mean, that was great. I remember it was against him, so I remember very vividly that final.
Yeah.
He made a couple mistakes. It's normal. I played a pretty good set, so but I remember he played strong in a lot of Europeans. Zoran.
Bravo.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yes, what's your opinion about Sanjin and Alex Petzel, the two young stars from the Balkans?
Yeah, they're the young flashy young guns, right? They got that swagger and the looks, and that's what they're doing. They're these young guys that are traveling. That's what they have to do, and both nice kids, you know. We spend some time now and then. You meet at the swimming pool and share. You know, Sanjin likes electronic music like me, like house music, so he shares some tracks and stuff. Alexa's a really nice kid, so they're good for the game, you know. Fit-looking guys, good for the ladies. So that's what the sport needs,
they're
right?
cookers, yeah. We hope that one day we'll do it. You know, like they will achieve results as you, because they have opportunity to do that. They're great players.
Yeah, they're traveling around.
We have a much more younger star here, plays for Longoni too, Luca.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
What do you think? What's his path in pool world?
You played with him on last
Euro Tour,
Euro
right?
Tour,
Yeah.
yes, on TV table.
Yeah.
And how tough is for him to play with you, because he is only 14, maybe 15 now, to play with you on such a big
It's
event.
From my side, I gotta beat him as hard as I can, man, because they're getting younger and better every time.
Yeah.
Like Filler, I remember Filler when he was 13, 14, and you could already see like the technique and the flashiness and boom, boom, boom. And before you know it, they're 18 and they start beating you. So it's probably the same with Luca, you know, if he keeps at it. But like I say, you gotta keep traveling and play, then it goes quick. You know, and again, also him, he's got really nice fundamentals. That's a good start. You don't have to worry about technique anymore then. Like, you can bring a player up, but if he has weak fundamentals, then he can only get to this point instead of to this point.
That's right.
But you look at these young guys and you think, yeah, they're, you know, technique is good. So then it's all about, you know, the mental game, discipline, perseverance, playing, because it's one thing to say like I want this and I want to be a champion, but you know, if you're going that path, you're gonna get some hard knocks. You're gonna lose, man. You're gonna and some they say you have to lose first. You have to be able to lose first before you can start winning, because it's a hard road. And I've seen a lot of youngsters come and go. It's not for the faint-hearted. So if you have that inside, you know, that will and desire, then they will come out on top.
And your mental game is your best weapon, I think. Like Novak Djokovic from our country, Serbia.
Sorry?
We are from Serbia and Novak Djokovic. I can compare him with you because of his mental.
Yeah, everybody has their own strengths, right? And one of my strengths is like perseverance. You know, I don't quit, and discipline is pretty high. So, you know, other guys have incredible creativity, intuition, and these are my strengths. So, that you know, if I lose, I'm gonna come back. And,
That's right. Yeah.
That's always been cool.
I think that's the answer for my last question. Nickname, the Terminator.
That's from Matchroom.
Really? What's the story?
2001. First, I had a nickname in the States in like '99 and 2000. There we go. It was.
I'm not sure what's going on.
First, I had a nickname in the States. It was like Luke Skywalker or the Jedi Knight. That was pretty cool. And then in 2001, I played. I think it was 2001. I got to the quarterfinals at the World Championships in Cardiff, and I beat Efren, and I had a couple TV matches, and I think Luke Richards nicknamed me the Terminator, and that was boom. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah, so it's probably because I'm intense when I compete, and they
And you look like Dolph Lundgren.
yeah, which the Terminator isn't Dolph Lundgren, it's somebody else.
Niels, thank you so much. Thank you
man.
so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We know you're in a car. You want to go to the restaurant.
No worries.
We really appreciate it.
Got
It's
it.
like a once in a lifetime opportunity. But we need to change that. We need to. You need to come to Serbia to see our club, to play a little bit of tournament, and to get to know each other a little bit better.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You're a great guy, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck in your
Thank you.
tournament.
Thank you.
We'll talk again when you win the tournament.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay.